Barakatuh. Respected listeners, I won't be long, inshallah ta'ala. I'll speak in English, obviously, because this is going to be on Facebook as well. So for the English speakers, I understand that many of our scholars here, they will be speaking in Bangla. So this great scholar, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, especially about the ulamas, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has praised the ulama here, that only those who are the God-fearing, these are the ulama. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given the prophecy, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَقْبِضُ الْعِلْمَ انْتِزَاعًا يَنْتَزِعُهُ مِنَ الْعِبَادِ ولكن يقبض العلم بقبض العلماء حتى إذا لم يبقي عالما اتخذ الناس رؤوسا جهالا فسئلوا فأفتوا بغير علم فضلوا وأضلوا. That this knowledge will not be uplifted just by the knowledge going away, but by the raising of the ulama. The ulama will die when there will be no true ulamas left. حتى إذا لم يبقي عالما اتخذ الناس رؤوسا جهالا. People will make the ignorant people scholars. They will be asked questions فأفتوا. They will give fatwa. They will issue verdict without any knowledge. They will be misguided themselves and they will misguide others as well. And this is what's happening this day and age. يذهب الصالحون الأول فالأول وتبقى حفالة كحفالة الشعير لا يباليهم الله بالة. The righteous people are leaving one after the other. Only the chaff, only the remaining, the covering, like the Prophet ﷺ gave example, the actual rice and actual wheat has been taken away. Only the covering is left behind. So this is what's happening, as we are seeing every day. Great scholars from all around the world, they're leaving, whether they're from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from India, from the UK, from the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, from all the different parts of the world, scholars are leaving. This great scholar, Maulana Noor Hussain Qashemiرحمة الله عليه, نور الله مرقده. I was privileged to meet him in my last journey of when I went to Bangladesh, Baridara Madrasa. I was honored to give a dars of Bukhari there. So this great scholar, subhanallah, amazing, which many of you have mentioned that he was, mashallah, loved by every single sect. Mashallah, he was a very known and famous figure. So I will just briefly say about this scholar. He was born on the 10th of January 1945 in a village called Chodda and Mahanur Ganj Thana. So this was the part of Kumilla. So he was born in Kumilla. His education, he started from Kashipur Qasim Ulum Madrasa in the beginning, elementary studies. Then his intermediate studies, he studies in Jamiatul Islamiyya, Darul Ulum, Buruda. So this was the place where he studied. And after that, he went to Darul Uloom Deoband. So in Darul Uloom Deoband, he studied from Jalalain till the end. 3 years he studied in Darul Uloom Deoband. His great scholars, obviously the great teachers from the many, the famous ones were the great Mufti, the Mufti Azam, the Grand Mufti of India, Mufti Azam, Mufti Mahmud Hasan Gangohi Rahmatullahi alayhi, the Maulana Anzar Shah Kashmiri, who was the illustrious son of the illustrious scholar Hazrat Maulana Anwar Shah Qashemiرحمة الله عليه, and Sayyid Fakhruddin Sahib Rahmatullahi alayhi, and Maulana Salim Qasmi, the son of the great principal of Darul Uloom Deoband, Maulana Qari Muhammad Tayyib Sahib Rahmatullahi alayhi. So he studied there. After that, when he came stayed there, and he taught 1 year in a madrasa called Muradiya Madrasa, which was amazingly established by Maulana Qasim Nanoti Rahmatullahi alayhi. In 1973, he came back to Bangladesh, his mother's land, and he was made the Shaykh-Ul Hadith and the principal of a madrasa called Muhiyyu Sunnah Madrasa, Shariatpur. So he was in Shariatpur there. And then 1978, he taught in Jamia Islamiyya Imdadul Ulum Madrasa, Faridabad, Dhaka. For 4 years, he taught there. And then 1982, he taught in Jamia Shar'iyya, Malibag Madrasa, founded by Qazi Mu'tasim Billah. So, and then 1988, subhanAllah, the madrasa that I went to last year, which is called Jamia Madaniya Baridara Madrasa, he established that in 1988. So from 1988 till 2020, for last 32 years, he's been the principal, the rector, the founder, the director of the madrasa. And the same time, Jamia Subhaniya Madrasa in Mahmud Nagar, he was also the founder there as well. And subhanAllah, with all this, he managed another 45 different madrasas and maktabs and institutes around Bangladesh. So he was made on the 3rd of October 2002, just recently, 2 months ago, he was appointed as the senior vice president of Wifaqul Madaris of Bangladesh and senior vice president of Al-Hiyatul Uliya Lil Jamiat al-Qawmiyya. He was also made the vice president there. And also from the 15th of November, he was made the general secretary of Hifazat-e-Islam Bangladesh and president of Hifazat-e-Islam in Dhaka. And subhanAllah, he's amazing. He was also working for International Majlis Tahafuz Khatm Nubuwwat of Bangladesh from 1990 to 2000. That 10 years he was the General Secretary of that place. 1975, he, mashallah, our Jamiat Ulama, he came and started as a member. 1975. In 1990, he actually became one of the main from the Central Committee. And 2015, he was made the General Secretary of Jamiat Ulama. So, subhanallah, his tasawwuf line, even like, for example, many of our scholars, they have the academic side, but amazing thing about our Shaykh Maulana Noor Hussain Qashemiرحمة الله عليه, he was bait to Shaykh-Ul Hadith Maulana Muhammad Zakaria Sabnawwarallahu when he was in India, and then he had connection with Mufti Mahmud Hassan Gangohi Rahmatullah alayhi. He actually got khilafat from Mufti Mahmud Hassan Gangohi Rahmatullah alayhi. So it's amazing person, subhanallah. And so basically he left behind two sons, Jabir and Jubair Hussain and Jabir Qasemi, who is a muhaddith, and two daughters behind. So this is just briefly about this great scholar. Obviously, when I was there in last year, the amazing hospitality that he gave us and the amazing welcoming that he gave us, we can never forget that. So what we need to do is try to follow the path of these great scholars, predecessors. Like the hadith is telling us, when these scholars leave, they will leave a vacuum which will not be able to be fulfilled. So the scholar Maulana Noor Hussain Qashemi Sahab, Nawwar Marqadahu, and all the other previous scholars who have passed away, Allama Ahmad Sharifi Sahab just recently passed away, Maulana Imdadul Haq Sahab, Habiganji, who passed away. Before that, so many other scholars have passed away. It is a time that we all pray for these scholars, and obviously praying for these scholars is the benefit for ourselves, because by praying for these scholars, we will get rewarded, because these people, mashallah, like the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ says, Tuhfatul Mu'mini al-Maut. For them, the death is a gift, because they want to meet, because that al-mautu jasrun yusul habib al-habib. They said death is a bridge which joins the beloved with the beloved. So these people, subhanallah, they have joined the beloved. So subhanallah, they are the lucky ones, they are the fortunate ones, and we are the ones who need to be worried about our situation. We need to prepare ourselves for the hereafter, the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to ask ourselves, are we prepared? Have we made our preparation? Like the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it tells us that this al-kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. The intelligent person is a person, man dana nafsahu, who subdues his nafs, wa amila lima ba'da al-maut, and he works for the life after death. Wala ajizu man atba'a nafsahu hawaha wa tamanna 'ala Allah. And the foolish person is a person who follows his desires and he depends and relies upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I wouldn't want to take much time, mashallah. There are great scholars there, inshallah ta'ala. They will highlight and they will enlighten our gathering, inshallah ta'ala. But the main important point I like to mention is these scholars are going, what is the lesson that we take? What is the lesson that we need to take from these scholars? Is that these scholars have gone, we need to make sure that we make our preparations. Let us open our eyes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah. আমরা তখন জমিয়ত উলামা ইসলামীকে সম্মানিত সভাপতি শেখুল হাদিস মুফতি সাইফুল ইসলাম সাহেবের কাছ থেকে আল্লামা নূর হোসেন কাশেমি রহমাতুল্লাহ আলাইহির জীবন নিয়ে আলোচনা শুনলাম।